Look at all that rain going underneath my car. I mean, come on. It is pouring out today. So much for filming. Talk about Blu-rays in a minute. Oh God. Shit! Oh my God. Seriously, who pissed Thor off? I'm done out here. Alright guys, so apparently pissing Thor off is one of my hobbies, and it's pouring rain outside, so I can't really do anything else. So I'm going to talk about the Blu-rays I've acquired over the past 2 weeks, and I actually do have quite a few, so this should make for an interesting video. First off, it's something I don't really remember that much, but I'm a sucker for things like this, you know, crossover movies, and it was like $5, so I decided to try out Alien vs. Predator. Now, I love Alien, I love Predator, so hopefully when I watch this, they will bring together a nice movie full of popcorny action fun. That's what I'm looking for in this movie. Thor, we had an agreement. You don't do this during my videos. Thought so. I'm warning you right now, there's gonna be an overabundance of Thor jokes no matter how many times the thunder comes down during this video. Next up is a trilogy set. I've only seen the first one, it was $20 at Target, so I went out and got Back to the Future, the trilogy, and I already watched part 2. I love part 1, it's a fantastic movie full of fun and it's hilarious. The second one, it's alright, but it's just not that fun to me, and I'd never liked Biff as a character, so making him one of the centerpieces of the movie was just not a good decision in my opinion. And there is definitely not enough Doc in this movie, he's just kind of missing for most of it. So I'm gonna watch part 3 very soon, and hopefully that one is better. Next up is a movie that I think is kind of underrated. I don't really hear many people talking about this. It didn't get the best reviews back in 2010, but I really like Denzel Washington and I love Gary Oldman, so I got Book of Eli. I do enjoy this movie. It's a very fun, kind of apocalyptic type thing, and a lot of people don't like this movie because of the religious undertones. I don't really like religion to begin with, but I don't mind the undertones in the movie because they're not really apparent until the end anyway, so it's not like the whole movie is just beating you over the head with a god stick. So there's some good action in the movie. Gary Oldman's fantastic, so is Mila Kunis and Denzel Washington. They're all really good here. Forgot my TV was on. Next up is one of my favorite, if not my favorite trilogy of all time. I love these movies. Can't believe I hadn't had them before, but it's just I'm a cheapskate, so I waited for them to fall a bit more on sale. And as you know, I'm still a bit skeptical about the new one coming out in August. The Bourne trilogy. I love these movies. All 3 of them are great. I'm just gonna do this. If I had to pick an order, I'd go Ultimatum, Identity, then Supremacy. That's the way I see the movies in order of quality. I love Matt Damon in these movies. He's fantastic. He's the best pick I could think of for Jason Bourne. So I just love these movies. They're just really cool spy-like thrillers. I love them. Actually, I've yet to watch these on Blu-ray, but I'll get to them eventually because I just have a bunch of things on my plate right now, but I'm sure they'll look fantastic. I highly recommend you get these movies even though I haven't even watched them yet. My point there is if you haven't seen the movies, watch them because they're amazing. Next up is one of my favorite romantic comedy type movies. That would be Forgetting Sarah Marshall. This movie, it's hilarious throughout. There's so many funny moments in this movie that I can't pinpoint one that I just love. It's just really funny throughout. I love Jason Segel. He's a great actor. He can do just about any comedic role. Because here he kind of plays like straight sad guy, and in I Love You, Man, he just plays a complete slacker and like almost douchebag. It's hilarious. He can do just about anything, and here he's fantastic, as is everyone in the cast, you know, Kristen Bell, Mila Kunis, Russell Brand, everyone. Paul Rudd has a small role and he's hilarious. And this movie is also nice romantically. It's not like cheese. It's not, I don't want to say it's not cheesy because it is kind of cheesy, but it's not completely sappy and stupid like a lot of movies are. It feels more real than most movies. It's really fun. I highly recommend you check this one out. This was only like $8 at Target, so definitely try it out. This next movie is living proof that I will like at least 80% of superhero movies ever made. I do not really care about ratings or anything. I will enjoy them, so don't believe I have this. I enjoyed Ghost Rider. Now, don't get me wrong, Spirit of Vengeance still falls in that 20% category. That movie is garbage, but this one I enjoyed. Nicolas Cage is really hilarious. I don't know if it's intentional, but he's hilarious throughout. I enjoyed the villain a lot more than the second one, because in Spirit of Vengeance, the villain, he didn't do anything really. In this one, at least the villain did a few things, like killed people to show that he actually has powers. And actually, the design of Ghost Rider in this movie I thought was a lot cooler and more stylistic than the other one. The other one just looked kind of like burned and gritty. I could see why someone would like that, but I like the more clean look in this movie. And sure, it has cheesy one-liners, but I find most of them funny, so I enjoyed this movie. That if you like superhero movies, that you should give it a shot if you haven't already. If you hate it, I can't do anything about that. Next up is the third incarnation of the Steelbook of Green Lantern. I'm just kidding. If I did that, I know I'd get shot or assassinated through the roof from Thor, I'm sure. He'd just strike me down with lightning, but if you know me, then you'll know that I've flip-flopped on this movie ever since it came out in December. I liked it at first, and then I saw it again, and I was like, oh, that was not as good as the first one. And then I saw it again, and you know what? I really do like this movie. It's definitely not as good as the first one, but I do enjoy Sherlock Holmes: A Game of Shadows. In most regards, this movie is just as good as the first one. The only thing that makes the first one better to me is the villain. Because Blackwood in the first one, he was smart, but he didn't really showcase it. He just didn't think he would get caught. And this one, Moriarty is just running around telling everyone, I'm the smartest and you can't beat me. He doesn't really even do anything. He just says he's smart and then he gets beaten by getting thrown over a waterfall. I mean, that's a weak villain. Like, at least in the first one, Blackwood and Holmes had a fight at the end. In this one, they just imagined their fight and then threw each other over a waterfall. That's not really that awesome to me. So that's the real reason I don't like this one as much as the first, but I love the Steelbook. It's fantastic. Comes with 2 discs inside. You got nice inside artwork. If you like the first one, I'm sure you'll enjoy this one. I'm not sure if you'll like it more than the first, but I'm sure you'll enjoy it at the very least. Next up is a movie that I surprised myself that I hadn't seen this already. After watching it, I freaking loved this movie, but I had not seen this before, so this out-of-print copy was $5 at Walmart, so I went for it, and Star Trek, the 2009 version with Chris Pine, I loved it. Seriously, I can't believe I hadn't seen this before. It's a fantastic sci-fi movie. Every element of it is hilarious at times. There's cool sci-fi elements. The villain is a bit weak, but he's still really cool. Chris Pine is great here. I love him as Kirk. I don't know who he is, but the guy who played Spock is good too. Zoe Saldana, she's great. John Cho, Anton Yelchin. There's a bunch of great people here, and they're all really good. This actually inspired me. I'm gonna watch all the other Star Treks, the older ones with like Shatner and Patrick Stewart. I'm gonna watch those now just because of this. Next up is my favorite Will Ferrell movie. You can argue me with this, but I really did like this movie because it just parodies something that I don't like, so I just found it hilarious. I really like Talladega Nights. It's hilarious to me. I'm not a person who enjoys NASCAR racing. I just find it kind of dumb. It's just cars. It's not really entertaining or interesting. While watching this movie, it was just hilarious because he just plays this character who is kind of almost retarded in a way. And Sacha Baron Cohen's in there, he's playing a gay guy, he always makes fun of stereotypes, so it just works perfectly. John C. Reilly, they play off each other really well, him and Ferrell. And this is what really gives me hope for the campaign, because not only does it have Zach Galifianakis, but it's Will Ferrell spoofing something that a lot of people think is a joke, like NASCAR racing and politics. So I really hope that movie's gonna be hilarious. Those are all the movies I've got for you today, guys. I've been talking for a while now. I'm almost out of breath, and it's surprisingly, Thor is gone. It's not raining anymore, so that's helpful for my mood. So I'm gonna go edit this now, then go cry in a corner. So what'd you guys think of my purchases? Have you seen the Bourne trilogy, Back to the Future trilogy? Which trilogy do you like better, Back to the Future or Bourne? How is Back to the Future 3? I'm asking a lot of questions here, so I'm gonna stop. Write your beautiful comments down there and tell me what you think. And if you like this video, hit that subscribe button up there, because if you don't, who would win the fight, Liam Neeson or Jason Bourne?